Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Inverse Audio. My name is 5X and in today's video we're going to be doing a track breakdown of my latest release, Energy. Now Energy is a collaboration between myself, 5X, Krasia and Denver UK, and it's out now on Wobbles and Waffles, so go stream it. All the links for that will be down below, but without any further ado, let's get right in the track breakdown.
Long time no see.
How we doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Guys, yeah.
So in here today we've got Denver UK. Say hello, Denver.
Hello.
And we've got 2 out of 3 of Krasia.
Hello. Let's go.
Third one's gone missing. Please send help.
Definitely send help.
Right, so I think before we get started on a breakdown, we're going to kind of just talk about how this came about. So maybe, Matty, do you want to get it started on that?
Yeah, so actually, George, you had a show, didn't you, that evening? So we were all like, oh, let's link up beforehand, cook up some tunes. Tried making a couple ideas that just didn't really click. We were having a bit of a shocker, weren't we? And then in true us fashion, we whipped out the beers and then started just cooking basically. And we were like, oh, let's strip it back, maybe just make a tune for the sets. One that's like quite minimal, hits hard, and I think that's exactly what we achieved with
Like
Energy.
a little mid-bass tune.
Exactly.
And we did it.
I think, yeah, that's kind of like the biggest feature of the song is it's a minimal song, but it's heavy hitting, but then, so you can double it with anything essentially, but it's good enough to play by itself as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Just a big chunky.
Yeah, it's been going off in our sets as well over the last couple of months. Yeah, Jack has this sick blend with that Delta Heavy tune, and it's literally, it hits every time.
Slaps through in the mix.
Boys, I like your little acoustic panels you stuck up on the living room as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look.
Oh, yeah. Do you reckon it work?
No.
Absolutely not.
Purely aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right, cool. So let's get started with the track breakdown. I believe the person who started this was George with the mid bass.
Yeah. With the mid bass, I was like, okay, let's make something. We went so complex for the first 2 tunes, and we were trying to like figure out like a midpoint, and then we just got bored and we're like, it kept going bad. We're just like, oh, let's start simple as anything. So we started with the mid bass. Pretty
Classic 8th note chugger.
Yeah, with the little accents as well. Gives it a bit more groove.
Yeah, so I think the bounce really just does come from these notes that are
Top
higher octave.
accent.
100%. Yeah, and it cut through so hard. We were just making it, and we were like, what is like a good way to make this like ever so slightly different from everyone else's mid basses? So actually we put sorry. We put a frequency shifter, which is a stock FL plugin, on the mid bass itself,
As well
and
as
that
a
gives
guitar
it like,
amp.
oh yeah, and a guitar amp. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but it worked. So then we've got this frequency shifter, which gives it so much movement. It makes it sound really liquid and like, so it's like warping around and stuff. Yeah, some classic EQ, just boosting some of the highs and taking the muddy lows out.
Classic.
And a riff. Yeah, pretty much kept it pretty simple, but the pattern was pretty simple, but really bouncy at the same time. So like, I feel like that kind of gives the track its bed.
Just that is so like, it's got an infectious groove to it.
Very
It's
strong.
pop in your head, doesn't it? Without even the drums being over the top of it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep adding elements, I think, is the best way to break this down. And the next logical, I guess the biggest part of this tune is the grot.
The frog. To be fair, if you remember rightly, actually, we did the lead in the second 16 first.
That was my argument stage.
Yeah, we had a bit of a debate actually.
we did.
So the frog wasn't actually initially in the track. We had this like lead that comes in after 16 bars.
It's this one.
Yeah. This sort of drop was maybe not quite hitting hard enough, and that's when we thought, okay, let's go like the graphics, culture shock, get the frogs in there, and then we can have that in for development. I think it actually worked out really nicely.
And I think the interesting thing with this lead and kind of this tune in general is we've ditched the minor scale and instead gone with the Phrygian mode of the minor scale. So you basically just take the second note, which usually would be E in D minor, but we flatten it. When you don't flatten it, it sounds really weird. It's got
Teletubby our D&B, man.
So goofy.
very good. So that definitely sounds better. But going back to the grot. So I think a lot of it comes from the movement of this snaily things wavetable, as well as that sixth harmonic in there. We actually don't have any effects on this.
That's criminal.
Yeah,
We're all in post.
probably all too drunk.
That just shows you, doesn't it? Less is more sometimes
Yeah.
with these kind of things.
I mean, there's plenty of effects here.
Drink beer every time.
Yeah. I retract that statement.
So we got some stereo shaping coming in here, and from the reverb as well. I think that's what's kind of giving it a stereo information, and then just EQs. I think there's a phaser that automates in here, and just a little bit of compression, basic mixing stuff. Next element we've got is the whomp.
Really like deep tunes,
It's
which I think adds
classic
to like the tone of it.
So this is actually layered, isn't it? It's just a patch.
And it's got those top chords.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the
Oh,
session
what?
horns on it.
Oh, I did not see you guys put it in there. That's a
I mean, we
great
were all
idea.
having a few beers, chatting shit on the sofa behind. That one person was in the hot seat, and then we
George
split.
started to sort of see that. I would have taken that straight. You guys had that.
Hey, that's class though. I like that. It's creative.
So yeah, I think it just kind of gives it a bit more of a. I mean, that just sounds ridiculous.
So,
But together, it's like a nice little impact. One element which I really like about the song is this little laser.
Yeah,
It's so
that makes
cool.
a track. Makes a track.
And that's the
Sure.
breakdown, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
But for the
Thanks,
basses,
What about the drums? What about the drums?
forgot about the drums.
Don't
yeah,
forget
show
the
them the
drums.
sauce. Show them the sauce.
Should we go into the second drop or just kind of leave that out of the video?
So this is part of the Inverse Audio Volume 3 sample pack.
No plug needed. And then just for those of you wondering, there is a bit of a variation in the second drop, which sounds like this. Which kind of features this Hoover bass, which is just a sample.
Hoover bass.
The little bow bow.
Henry made an appearance, and then we've got this nice growl,
Wow.
which is kind of like a staple sound I've been using in quite a few of my tracks. This is the patch.
Yes. It's so nice.
And then
She's thick.
classic.
I think with like something like that as well, like we had it slightly off beat, so you have the kick hit and then that kind of slaps in. I think sometimes that rhythm just like really adds a like extra bit of like intensity to like the drop, for example. So I think having it like slightly off beat, actually like the delayed hit, I think sometimes gives a better reaction in the rave.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, definitely agreed. And then in terms of the basses, that's really it. There's a few automations, but it really is simple.
Yeah, I think we had more features and we really kind of streamlined it to keep it simple, make it doubleable and make it kind of stronger as a standalone track as well.
Yeah, we were throwing loads of ideas at it, weren't we? And then I think we just compounded them. I found the best things for the track and like, yeah, let's keep it simple and stuff.
I think that was actually really nice though, like in the
Oh, it's true. No way. Wait, true.
Good, homies. Where's George at? Oh, hi, Joshi. It's
Hello,
me,
Dwayne.
Doodoo. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. YouTube, man. What up?
Yeah, you're in.
dog? Oh, yeah, right.
Wait, is he just going home?
I think this is the most engaging bit of the whole video.
Sorry about that. This is the problem of having a physical studio, people. It's the second time I've been interrupted today. I had two mates come earlier. Right, next, let's move on to the other lead that we have. We can't forget about that. It's kind of the response. It's like a Reese almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who added this one? Was it Jack?
Have a look at it.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
Audio special there.
What
it
did
is
you
an
say?
Inverse Audio special.
It's an Inverse Audio special.
Yeah. And if you want more presets and sounds, go over to inverseaudio.co.uk.
Get out.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Get out!
It is a pretty goated if you need that sorry lead.
Yeah.
Does a job. As you say, you can play it higher and kind of have that more melodic saw. I think kind of lower is more of a Reese sound. It just sits really nicely.
And I guess in terms of the pattern, it's like just very chopped up and quite stabby.
Yeah, the notes are really short, aren't they?
Yeah.
We love the little the da-da-da-na-na. They're quite-
And then I really like some of the processing on it, like especially the reverb.
It's natural.
What's giving?
And the
Oh,
rift.
it's the rift.
Yeah.
This is what you added, George, right?
Yeah, classic.
George is a bit of a riff.
The rift nerd, mate.
He does love
It's
it.
so good.
Yeah,
It's so
such
good.
a good plugin.
Even choosing the default was distortion. I feel like slept on sometimes. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty strong on most bases.
And then that for the main elements, there's one more in the song, and that's really it. And that's obviously the vocal.
Shout out to Splice.
Feel energy.
And that's just, like you're saying, a splice vocal.
Another frequency shift on the vocal to make it sound nice and wavy.
Oh, yeah. Frequency shift.
She's wet.
This track actually has a lot of reverb.
I've ruined it.
Yeah.
Just as I'm listening through to all the elements, there's so much reverb on all of it, which I think actually just adds to the vibe and the atmosphere of the whole thing.
And I think when you have fewer elements, that works as well.
Yeah,
It's
so
easier to fill the space with loads of elements, but if you can minimize it and then allow them to breathe, it sometimes has a better effect, especially for tunes like this.
I was saying actually just before Pete, your mate, came in, but I really enjoyed this was like a session where we were all quite conscious on keeping it simple, because a lot of our sessions where it's just the three of us, like we sometimes overcomplicate things and, maybe overthink it a little bit. And actually it was nice just to have two other people that were like, nah, keep it simple, strip it back.
Yeah, we definitely were in that mindset. Even when I work solo, and I'm sure, George, this is the same for you, you just do overcomplicate things. But when you're all just say, right, simple, it actually does come out better in this scenario for a track like this anyway.
100%.
And then one thing I really like is this vocal, which I remember I named it Little Uzi, because I think it just sounds like a Little
I
Uzi
still
ad-lib.
think it is.
You guys hated it when we added it.
No,
you guys liked
we
let's add
loved
this.
it.
It is a good little chop. I do
slaps.
like
It does
the
slap.
But there's no reverb on this one, which is weird. I thought we had reverb.
Maybe we should have had reverb.
Well, it's too late now. The track's out.
Add it quick.
It's probably tighter
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
without it.
So I think maybe next we move on to the intro. So
Intro time.
Good.
who did most of this? I believe George added.
Yeah, I actually can't remember.
I
really.
can't either. I reckon it was beers.
I think it was one of you boys. I can't remember. I can't remember.
There was-
I mean, a lot of it's like Splice, kind of like resampling stuff, taking cool like atmospheric impact.
Like that's like a movie hit.
Yeah, those cinematic like drums. So
Ooh.
That one as well.
Why do I feel like I'm hearing all this for the first time? Listening to this sounds great.
This is the problem when you have 5 producers. You don't actually know who did what or what's in there.
especially when you're drinking, you can't remember what you've added and what you haven't. Like.
Yeah.
Just some really nice like atmospheric bits.
I think for stuff like this, like sample choice is so important. Like making sure you select the right sounds and then making sure that they rhythmically kind of like call and respond to each other.
And I think the way we kind of made the tune in the first place, like I'm talking overall, is just by adding things one by one. I believe we did start with the drop, and the intro was a bit more of an afterthought, if I'm going to be honest, but it turned out well. Like it wasn't one of those tunes
kind of
where you, I need to make an intro. Like we still enjoyed it, building up to that tension.
Exactly, and I think for this kind of tune, the intro is very much built from kind of the drop and the lead anyway, so it's very easy to kind of do that on the back end compared to, if you're making a more melodic tune, maybe you really need to think about the kind of the chord progressions and how that builds up a bit more. But for this, you've basically done the hard work already.
Yeah, for sure. That one's very random. It's so nice on the sides, yeah.
Yeah, it is nice on the sides.
Also got like an acid loop, which I forgot was in there.
Yeah, so
And yeah, just again, a couple more pats and crashes, pretty standard stuff, and filters. And then we kind of move on to the build up, which is again more of the same. One thing
There's
that's
like a new like vocal as well, the offbeat vocal.
Oh, I love the offbeat vocal.
It just builds like a fair bit of suspense.
yeah, this is amazing. This bit.
It's very techno-y, isn't it?
One thing that I love that I've only just really thought of now is we bring the bass and a lot of the elements in on the word energy.
On the energy. Yeah.
We totally did that on purpose, guys. Come on.
Happy accidents, you know.
And you get your classic filtration.
Classic filtration distillation.
So I guess the last thing that we kind of have to talk about is the drums.
Inverse audio drums.
I don't know if these even are. No, that one is, yeah. So
Yeah, the
kick.
drums do their job. They do their job for sure.
I believe that's just sidechain right there. And then the snare, we've gone for surgical sounds, of course. And then just a couple of hats, loops more like.
Oh, it's that Muzz one.
That Muzz top
Is that
is
Muzz
so
top?
good.
The Muzz top for the kind of mid-bass chug tunes,
It's
yeah,
got
so
that
good.
laser in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
It's also got like a chug built into like the tops, like just the rhythm of it.
Mm.
And actually, we have like an 8th note chug in this track, but the tops in the Muzz thing is slightly offbeat, so it kind of really like responds nicely to the rhythm of the track.
Yeah.
I personally think the whole like beauty of this track is like the rhythm of it. That's like
Agreed, yeah.
the whole like defining thing of it. I think is
Like those two elements, and you've got the full rhythm of the track, really.
yeah.
And then I think we just kind of evolved the drums by adding a ride to it.
Yeah, classic. Oh, I love it. All the drums together sound great.
And then just a couple of fills.
I like that fun as well.
But I think one big thing in this tune is kind of how we take away so many elements every 16. It kind of goes into this silence before moving on to something else.
It just adds so much more impact. I think being able to have more space in a tune often can actually make it sound more full, which is a bit of a strange concept, but yeah, it's definitely something we've worked on over the last couple of years, is really like understanding where not to have sounds. It's so important.
It's also like perceived loudness and contrast as well. If you have like silence, it means that the next thing that comes in just hits so much harder.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Have you got like a master chain on it?
Yeah, for the mastering, let's have a look. In terms of mixing, there's nothing that's too complicated. But the master chain, I believe, is an EQ.
4 reverbs and a delay.
It's an EQ and a clipper with a ceiling on. The gain's actually turned down because the song was too loud. And this imager isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Still hit -4 quite easily with turning it down.
Yeah, it's a loud tune, especially when DJing with it.
Yeah.
You notice when you're double dropping it, it slaps.
For sure it does, but I think that's really it. That's the whole song. It was really simple, and it kind of did come about quickly.
Yeah, I think the best ones usually do, don't they?
Yeah,
Especially after multiple failed ideas, it was nice. This one just came super naturally.
Yeah, thank God.
yeah. We were at it like all day trying to come up with something, being like really intricate.
Shout out to the beers, I guess.
Shout out! See, this is why you drink beer and make music.
It's true though, when you've got 5 cooks in the studio and you're all debating about which Phrygian chord progression you should work on, it can like hinder the whole process, or you can just make something like this where it just falls together.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a catch-22.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, the tune is out now on Wobbles and Waffles, so you guys can cop it on Beatport, or the links will be down below. Stream it, all the good stuff. And yeah, do you have anything else to say, guys?
Merry
I think
Christmas.
so. Go stream it, send us your videos, and
Tag us.
on to the next.
Tag us in any blends.
Right,
Hell
sweet
yeah,
guys.
brother.
Thanks for coming on
Appreciate
the channel.
it, guys.
And we'll Inverse Audio out.
Inverse audio out.